Welcome back, everyone. I am Noja, and this is a game called Harem Mate. This is, in fact, what's called an H game, and H game is just a Japanese term that means dating simulator. Yeah, we'll go with that. So, there's two reasons why we're going to be looking at this subgenre of games. And the first is that whenever you learn a new language, you always want to know some of the naughtier words, some of the swears, and some of the vulgarities. Furthermore, H games are a somewhat notorious, albeit undeniably popular, category of Japanese media subculture, so we would be remiss not to look into them at least somewhat. But before we even begin, I should warn you that this first video is not going to be the most exciting material, because we're not going to jump right into the story mode just yet. We're going to look at the options, settings, and configurations menus. Now, that may not sound like the most thrilling aspect of this game, but nevertheless, for educational purposes, it's extremely important. If you have an interest in Japanese games, there may be games from time to time where you're interested in the mechanics, the gameplay, or other content that the game may have, and you may not be particularly interested in the story. In these instances, you can squeak by memorizing what the characters are for sound, color, display, volume, difficulty, how to save and load, and so forth and so on. The options and configurations really don't change the way they're labeled from one game to another, especially in the case of visual novels or games that present their narrative in the form of a visual novel. So again, while learning options may not be very fun, it's not as challenging as you might think, and it is certainly very beneficial. So many options and configuration settings are the same from game to game that you really only have to do this once, so just buckle down and do it. Harem Mate. Harem Mate. This over here just lets you change the name of your production company. I don't think the main character, has a proper name, but you can change the name of your production company because you're supposed to be a manager for various young idols. All characters in game 18 years or older, according to the disclaimer. Produce. Scout. Harem. Configuration, or config for short. Shuryo, finish, end. Here's config again. Sette, settings. Shokika, default settings. Modoru, return. Otoko no sette, man settings, or male settings. Ichininmei, first guy, or first person. Taihyoji, body display. Dankon Hyoji, man root display. This is the character for man, and is used in compound words to mean a masculine thing of some sort. It's often pronounced dan in a Chinese compound, or otoko when occurring alone or in part of a native Japanese word. Marukage hyoji, shadow display. Hyoji shurui, display type. Tsujo, normal. Tanshoku, single color, one color. Tanshoku kara, monochrome color. Shikuso, hue. Here's an important character you'll be seeing a lot, and it's the character for color. You need to watch out because the readings can change. However, it's easy to visually identify this character because it looks a little bit like some kind of horned monster. There's its eyes and its mouth, a horn on top, and just imagine that it's a colorful monster and you won't forget what it means. Characters with multiple readings are just a fact of life. You need to start getting used to it now. When you're reading silently to yourself and you know the meaning of a character, you don't necessarily need to recall the exact reading. Saido, saturation. Meido, luminosity. The suffix do means degree or amount. It's very common and very easy to recognize. Just keep your eyes peeled for the dotted cliff radical that covers its top and left sides. Tolmeido, transparency. Onna no sette, woman or female settings. Ichininmei, first person. Taihyoji, body display. Marukage hyoji, shadow display. Onryo sette, volume settings. BGM, bacon, garlic, and mushroom sandwich. Shistemu on, system sound. Koka on, sound effect. Kankyo on, environmental or ambient sounds. Kyara onse, character voice. Ottori, gentle, calm. My pace, my pace. Wakazuma, young wife. Kiowa, timid. Genki, healthy, energetic. Anego, older sister. Namaiki, cheeky. Yume, a proper name, Yume. This was a character from a previous Illusion Games title. Majime, serious. Meido, maid. Bokuko, tomboy. Jido onryo sette, automatic volume settings. Serifu chu no BGM, background music during lines. Serifu chu no BGV, background volume during lines. Texto sette, text settings. Skip, skip. Kidoku, already read. Subete, entirely. Kaigyo toki no onsei skip, voiced lines skip. Moji sokudo, text speed. Window tomedo, window transparency. Echishin, H scene. Shisen tokubi, line of sight and neck. Kote, fixed. Camera, camera. Pointo ido toki ni camera resetto. Reset camera when shifting point. This string of characters might look daunting at first, but upon closer inspection, most of it's already in English. The only Japanese words here are ido, meaning to shift or move or transfer, and toki, a suffix meaning time. When you look at the character for toki, notice that on the left-hand side you have the radical for sun. That's the box with the little line through it in the middle. The sun radical is connected to the notion of time. So characters that denote concepts of time or concepts of time measurement often use the sun radical. When this character is read as toki and used as a suffix, it denotes the time when. So since ido is a two-character word meaning to shift or move, ido toki means when you move. You can take just about any word or phrase, slap toki at the end of it, and it becomes when this is the case, when this happens. Suru, do. Shinai, don't. Kyara henko toki ni kamera resetto. Reset camera when changing characters. Sonohoka. Other. Mappu hyoji. Map display. Chushiten no hyoji. Crosshair display. Self shadow. Self shadow. Tune no shuri. Tune type. 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 Hishakai Shindo. World render depth. Pinto haba. Focus width. Bokeh guai. Blur usage. That should just about do it for this video. We covered a lot of ground in a relatively short amount of time, so feel free to rewatch and ask me any questions you might have in the comment section. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please share the video if you can be bothered to do so. In the next Harem 8 video, we'll finally move on to the story mode, and then towards some of the other content of the game, and we'll finally learn some dirty words. Dirty words other than man root, of course.